Hello folks, how you all doing? This is Khanate coming to you with a new Let's Play of a game in alpha, as you can see, Master of Orion. Now, Masters of Orion is the latest in the whole kind of, MOO series put out by NGD Studios and WG Labs. You can see down here in this lovely little corner over here. It's been in alpha for a short bit of time, and today I'm going to give you kind of an introductory look at some of the single player opportunities that kind of face you guys in the game. I played through this a couple times before. It kind of reads sort of like, I don't know, Civilization as well as maybe like Endless Space together. As you can see, as you can see, we have 9 people right now. We still have 2 more coming as well, and you can also do your own custom race, which gives you some kind of really cool ideas. You can actually go and start your own thing. You can pick what you want to do with the starting tech, command points, all this kind of stuff. And this may look like an overwhelming thing right now, so we're not going to focus on that. Instead, we're going to look back at here. So each one of these things has its own little set of traits. Counter-espionage, trading, diplomacy, what their start tech goes with. This guy is actually a little bit new. Cone. Ship cost minus 20%. I've played through the game already as a Meklar, which are kind of like, think of like the Borg almost. And the Cylons, which are also pretty cool, but it's basically your little green men, which are blue in this case. But I have seen every single one of these guys in the game except for this dude right here. So actually, I think let's give this guy a try. Oh, he seems to be completely militant, which is fine. So we'll give that a try. See how this goes. The cool thing, of course, you can set up whatever difficulty level is sticking on hard for right now. 5 AI opponents, Big Bang seed. You see who you're going up against. You can go and make it bigger or smaller. As of right now, it's kind of like a very vestigial change. But let's see how this goes. So I'll see you guys in game. Let's get started.
After centuries of strife and misery, the age of the Khans began. It was a time of great struggle when dire circumstances called for radical solutions under ruthless and unwavering leadership. The price was dear, but through the iron rule of the Khans, mankind survived. Having pacified their home world of Alpha Ceti, the Terran Khanate now seeks to expand its territories to secure the rightful place of humans in the galaxy until the end of time.
Good evening, Khan. My name is Emma. It would seem I've outranked my utility in the Ghost Brigades.
Okay, so while we're just telling Emma to kind of go take a hike, here we are at the beginning of this particular game. As you kind of saw from the whole setup of the game beforehand, you have 2 different kinds of galaxies, circle and spiral. So you have the tails going on either end. And as you can kind of see over here, each of these players has its own homeworld, which doesn't change. As you can see, it's a medium size, got a very, very similar biome to us here on Earth, and very abundant with that. You have kind of this is how you kind of create resources, which you see reflected up here in terms of population, production for the colony, and research, which is definitely pretty cool. And if you don't feel like actually dealing with it, you can tell to do any kind of colony focus with this, which kind of inspires you to do, more of more production, more food, more research, what have you. Down here, actually I need to change this out real quick, show queue. You have an idea of what you can build right now, which isn't much. It's really just a lot of initial kind of like fighting things, and it's a little bit of a colony ideas. And I'll show you what that does in a moment as well. The UI is fairly simple, I have to admit. Each of these stars has its own set of planets, so for this particular case, there's Alpha Ceti Prime, and then there's Alpha 2? I don't know, we'll find that out in a second. Actually, I'll do that right now for you guys. Alpha Ceti 2. And every single one of these planets has its own particular size, biome, mineral level, gravity. If there's something special about it, there's that as well. I'm going to send a scout ship to each one of these spots right here. And I'm also going to tell them to automatically explore, because otherwise it's going to take us forever to understand anything, and I don't want to micro the entire way through this. So, however, what can we do from here?
Our engineers await your command.
As you can see, whenever we pull up this research, we get our little assistant over here to one side, which is really quite, adorable and all, but really not something I really care about too much. Everybody starts with space travel. and as you can see, the tech tree itself goes out fairly far, and because there's some really, really interesting things. I've explored this pretty much all the way to the end, but that's neither here nor there. Each one of these blocks up here has its own kind of specialized thing coming out of it. So this would be a biological building, this is a government building, this is a production building, this is a weapon, things like that. So if I pick this right here, you can see right here, automated factory and neutron blaster. And each one of these things has its own particular bonus that can kind of bring to your system, as well as your ships, and we'll get a little more into that. I think what I'll start with, though, is actually I'll start with government to get a research lab to kind of jumpstart my science a little bit. Now, hopefully I can get her to stop talking quite so much, because it's going to get very annoying very quickly.
My liege, a moment.
Alright. So, this is a colony ship. This is basically what we do whenever we want to expand the Empire to something else. We build a colony ship. I'm considering right now is perhaps building another frigate and another colony ship, so that way when we can kind of get people to... When we find suitable planets, we can have things move immediately. But in the meantime, you, my friend, I want you to explore already. So actually, you know, let's move you just in a standard way like that. That being said, I'll wait till we kind of discover our first system, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, so our first system. As you can see right now, there's a certain skill that allows you to see everything at once. But since we have a bro that's just kind of chilling here, it's going to be a little difficult for us to actually do anything with him. But we already discovered something new. So we have Kalis Prime, which you can see the name of the system down here. It tells you again the size, the biome, and the minerals. And though I've not entirely figured out how the minerals work into the success or the failure, I think it's a modifier for the production of your particular race and system. And I will admit the beginning of this game moves a little bit slowly, but that's okay. I do promise it speeds up a little bit. Alright, fantastic. So what we have here is we have a pirate fleet. In the same way that pretty much every game known to mankind has its own set of barbarians or pirates, anything that's kind of like civilization kind of based. In this particular case, we have pirate ships that kind of come in. And pirate ships are, you know, they're kind of scary, but not like terrifying. It's more like, okay, well, it's a mild inconvenience more than anything else. Now, if we're lucky, though, we won't see our poor scout ship getting wrecked by the pirate system, or the pirate fleet, which is now in system. I'm going to shift my troops around a little bit, so that way we have... Ah, great. That's fantastic.
Just a minute, Khan of Khan.
Yes, so while our best friend forever is telling us all about the nifty things in regards to colonizing, and saying that we found a viable planet and all that kind of stuff, which is great. Actually, let me check Kalis 2. Ooh, wow, this one's a bonanza. Okay, so we're going to go to Kalis 2 right here. So it's huge. It's got a Terran thing in the first place, and it's rich in minerals. So what we're actually going to do immediately is colonize this new planet, kind of, you know, expand our empire a little bit more. So it's kind of cool in the idea that you kind of go and can see when you settled it, what the biome looks like in case you somehow magically forgot. But here we actually have finally our first couple of non-defensive bases. Well, still military and focus, but not specifically like, oh look, here's a giant missile battery that sits in the air and fires at things that attack it. So we have a marine barracks, which helps you kind of get more morale in your particular colony, which is sort of like the civilian order in any civilization game. There's a star base that gives you scanner range and command points, and I'll give you a little bit more idea what that does in the future. For right now, what I'm going to do, I think, is... Wait, how long is it going to take us? Actually, I'll do this. I want to give myself a new population as soon as possible. And apparently, there's high gravity, which is very uncomfortable for me. So it decreases production, research, and food by 50%. Okay, so each one of these blocks, instead of showing 5, it's going to give me 2, which is a little annoying. It's a little less than I hoped for. but it is what it is. Anyway, I think we'll just start building a Marine barracks unilaterally to give ourselves a little bit of defense. And just going to continue moving along. Okay, so our first research is done. And there's apparently a threatening fleet detected. That's going to be the pirate fleet coming in at us right now. And I thought I might be able to get a jump on them by kind of hitting them in the Omicron system. Or Omicron system. But they jumped past me. As you can see right here, both of our fleets are going past each other as we speak. And that's just a nice little tool tab letting me know that something bad is happening.
Our engineers have made a new discovery, my liege.
But anytime you actually make a research breakthrough in this particular moment, we have the lovely assistant telling us otherwise. It's a government support facility research lab. Great stuff. Definitely what we need. And I think moving forward, it probably would behoove us to pick up... Oh, dear. What do we want? What do we want? Maybe biology? By biology, then economics, maybe? Yeah. So biology is kind of like giving yourself a granary. If you played this, like I said, if you played the Civilization games before, this is absolutely nothing new to you. Excuse me. And the only bad thing about the whole tool tab is that it tells you consistently that you have enough, like you have enemy ships coming in all the stinking time. So it's a little bit kind of a slight waste in my mind. Ah, and it appears we made our first contact.
Greetings, friend. I am the President of the Human Republic. May the cooperation between our races be ever fruitful.
So each of these particular AI has its own personality, its own tendencies. If I remember correctly, the humans tend to be very passive, very buddy-buddy. However, whenever someone says that they're going to be passive and buddy-buddy, it doesn't necessarily mean they are. It just means they're going to be a little less than immediately aggressive.
Excuse me.
Anomaly. So an anomaly, what is an anomaly? Anomalies are kind of like the treasure boxes of Masters of Orion. So in this particular case, we're going to slide them over here, see what we get. It can be anything and everything you might think to have. And this might be my second expansion right here. It's a swamp, so it's not going to be perfect for me, but at the same time, we'll be in pretty good shape. Now, normally I could go and jump right into combat right here, and I imagine they might even attack me. But, I understand you guys might be thinking, okay, like, why aren't you attacking right now? And the simple reason is because I want to give you a little bit bigger space battle than just one of my ships taking on 3 of his. And as you can see here, my victory chances are only about 60%, and I definitely want to boost those a little bit more. This doesn't mean they may not go and immediately attack me. Hey, and they're not. That's fantastic. That's good. Let's see. Serapis 4, bad. Serapis Prime, pretty bad. Yeah, I really want Serapis 2, so hopefully I can get this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to buy this colony ship to boost it to its limits. And then we're actually going to build a research lab to help boost things a little bit more. And then we'll build a space factory. Now, space factories are pretty much like the workers of this particular game. If any kind of civilization thing. Oh wow, okay, cool.
Ship, floating eerily empty with no signs of its former crew. Your engineers report all systems are fully functional. Even if some crew members might refuse to board the ghost ship, it will make a great addition to your current fleet.
And that, folks, is basically what happens after Leonard Nimoy dies. We need to have somebody else to kind of carry on the flag, so to speak. If you guys remember whether or not, I think it was Civilization 5 that Leonard Nimoy definitely went and did all the voice work for whenever you found it, got new technology or anything really. It's pretty cool. However, now that we have most of our standing fleet here, guys are guarding, which means that no one's going to be able to move past them. So what we're going to do instead now is to attack. And I could auto-resolve, but at the same time I want to give you guys a little bit of a peek into the way that fleets work in the space battles, as well as give you one good battle before I kind of call it quits for this first kind of introductory video. So you see, of course, Terran Khanate is attacking space pirates. Here's my attacking ships, they're the defending ships. And what you have here is really kind of open area, which is really pretty great. There's asteroids you can use for cover, from like weapons fire and things like that. And the weapons that you have, you can see pretty much mounted on every single one of your ships. So you can see right here, we have nuclear missiles and laser cannons, which are pretty darn good early on. And if you want to see what the enemy has, you can already see what their orders are too. Two are going to attack one guy, one's going to attack the other one. And you also see they have blasters, which are pretty much outranged by my guys. That being said, you can kind of make sure that your guys stay either within your own range and out of somebody else's by doing something like this. This whole little slider kind of allows you to kind of automatically enable the AI to do what you might want it to do. You can help to cease fire, you can help to retreat. Until recently, kind of adorably, this was called re-reet. And you can you match speeds with each other, or you can tell them to go faster or slower depending on how you might want to work it. And down here you have actually your line formations. Now, circle and square we can't do, mostly because we don't have enough ships for it. But we have wedge formation, which increases our speed as well as beam accuracy, and actually line formation, which decreases weapon cooldown, as well as beam accuracy again. The thing we're going to do is just jump right to it. Keep my guys a little bit slower. As of right now, I will note the computer has kind of a very coarse grasp of tactics. I really want to try to do just kind of keep them at range. But to do that, I also need to start firing at them too, which is something you'll see a little bit later on. I will say that any damage you take on these maps is a pretty persistent damage, and so basically you don't want to ever take any damage whatsoever. Kind of for obvious reasons. As you can see, of course, the initial ships themselves are not particularly stunning. It's kind of like, oh look, fantastic. These are very, very light battles, minor things to be sure. But as you get further and further along, I guarantee you the battles get insane. I've had like 5 ships get attacked by 30. I've had like my own 20 ships get attacked, attacking somebody else. It's incredible kind of the stuff that you can see. But after the fact, what do we have? So we have the total casualties, we have damage dealt and damage received. So our ships are still slightly wounded, but not really that much so. It tells you the accuracy, it kind of gives you like the stats down here if you ever really want to worry about that. I don't particularly, but that's okay. I think for the time being, though, I am going to actually throw one of my frigates down here to kind of guard and make sure that we can kind of keep access at Serapis 2 over here. And I think what I might do is call it quits. Yes, I will the space factor in a moment. In just a turn or two. What I would first love to do is get a new colony ship down here to Serapis 2, and as soon as I do that, like I said, I'm going to give a quick short break and let you guys kind of chew over what you've seen so far.
Our engineers have made a new discovery, my liege.
However, in the meantime, we do have a new research done. We have hydroponic farm and biospheres, which is definitely good for colony growth moving forward. Now I could take physics, which is kind of a great idea, because it's also a first ship weapon, or first ship modification, rather.
Brilliant.
So I'll pick up the physics, I think. This colony ship is ready to move, so I'm going to move them as quick as possible down here. And yes, so guys, give me just a moment to finish shifting troops about. I might just jump ahead unless something incredibly amazing happens. I might just jump ahead to when we get our third colony up. Not our second colony ship, but our third colony.
This is GNN.
Or I'll show you what
Galactic
GNN is.
News Network.
First of all, these
GNN, the
little
only network that tells you what you need to know.
tape news things going on down here, pretty cool.
To you live.
Galactic News Network, the galaxy's most reputable news source.
But what GNN is, GNN kind of covers all of the massive sweeping things. So if something's going on over here, like between a war between two empires, they'll be like, okay, well, this empire is fighting that empire. If a certain group is controlling a lot of planets, it'll tell you that as well. It definitely keeps you kind of tuned in to what all of the kind of major political shifts are in the galaxy. Okay, actually, I know I said I was going to give you guys just the first colony, but I think I'm going to give you one more thing real quick, too. The interesting thing about each of these particular civilizations is that they all have their initial starting planets. So right here, for example, I know the humans are going to be in the Sol system. Which means that honestly, if I can get a ship right here to guard as soon as possible, first of all, the humans might freak out and be like, okay guys, please don't settle near us. It's not going to be great for us in the long term. And what I'm basically going to say is, I don't care. Kind of a jerk move. Oh dear God, I have a ton of just massive planets over here, which is great. It sounds like I'm going to be trying to seal off this one too. Wow, I'm legitimately falling over awesome planets. Do this, do this. And screw that. Alright, so our home planet is going to be quite busy for the next, 20 or 30 turns, and do everything I can to kind of keep myself in getting in position to get these prime planets moving forward. No, because like I was saying, the initial planet for every single civilization is always the same. In this case, it's Sol. And here is us right there. That actually, I believe, is going to be Earth. That's a frigate.
Excuse me.
Yes. Is that a frigate right there? Yes, it is. Okay, so they're going to have a minimal fleet. I shouldn't be worried quite, like overly so. Should be pretty much okay to kind of play it very loose. But what I do want to do is guard this approach over here and kind of keep an eye on what I see as being more prime planets for my expansion. Alright guys, so our new colony ship has reached Serapis 2, and I will totally go and establish that colony just as we end this video. As well as notice, we have a new pirate fleet coming in through Omicron again, which means probably it's like a pirate base somewhere out here, maybe in the systems beyond. And that has its own set of challenges, but as long as we know where they're coming from, that works for me. We keep discovering new systems, sort of by blow, and we seem to be following out a human colony ship, so I wonder what's over here in the Minerva system. Maybe this planet right here is what they're looking for. But yes, that being said, we're safely going to colonize a new planet, and when we come back, I would like to show you guys a little bit more of Master of Orion. So if you like what you see, please let me know. I'm going to give this video series just a few videos to see if you guys gained any traction. If you like it, that's great. If you don't, register your displeasure and I'll move on to something else. In the meantime, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for your time and attention in this new kind of evolving game moving forward, Masters of Orion. I guess that means that it's time for me to sign off. So, this is Khanate signing off. You guys all have a great day. Take it easy, everybody.